Hello friends, I'm Colonel Failure and you're joining me in Transport Fever, just outside the burgeoning metropolis that is Vancouver. And we're awaiting a passenger train that's come up from the North American side of business. And of course it's gone in on a platform where we can't really see what's going on there. Tremendous action shot, I think you'll agree. Anyway, the year has just rolled round to 1916, which means that the Mikado is now available. And as much as I want to deploy that as quickly as possible and as widely as possible, that's not what we're going to be doing today. Today, our objective is quite straightforward. I'm just looking at a very boring platform right now. Let's make it less boring. We could do this. Yeah, okay, that's maybe too exciting. What we're going to do today is we're going to try and bring goods up to Vancouver. Now, I have absolutely no idea. I've not even looked. Not even looked to see if the route is viable in any way at all. But I want to bring goods up to Vancouver. And chances are that's going to involve more than one train. We might have to run 2 trains in order to make that work. The gold in this here route will be if I can bring goods back in the opposite direction. So if you stick around until the far side of the bombastic intro, we shall start our scouting mission. Okay, so here's Vancouver, and already I'm thinking, what the heck was I thinking? Because it's a very, very long way. The only light we have in this particular tunnel is the fact that we've got a couple of spare lines going over the bridge here, and that there are industries up in this area which we can easily make some hay from. We've got 2 lumber processing plants here that is maybe of use. We could process some more oil, possibly helpful. There's coal, which we could bring around, but none of these are close enough to... I mean, arguably, this lumber mill here is probably close enough to Vancouver to work. But it's... Yeah, see, this is why smart people sometimes keep their mouth shut for a bit and then decide what they're going to do. The other opportunity is plastics. We could easily bring corn and oil up here to turn into plastic, which we would then want to drop off at somewhere that would turn them into goods. But then you need planks as well. So that's no help to me. That's of no use. Let's have a look. What else have we got? I'm not going to write this plan off before I've given it due consideration. If there were a lumber thingamajig around here somewhere, then maybe we could make that. There's one, look, and it's not a million miles away from the hub. Okay, right, so we bring lumber out to the hub, right? We've got a truck stop here already, so that's clearly viable. Look at all of this good stuff we've got kicking around here. I'm very pleased. Then all we need to do is find something, and I believe, if I can recall correctly, you can turn 2 lots of planks into a set of tools like that. There we go. See, look, memory not failed me. So what would we do with that? So you would get the planks coming into the hub, probably by truck. No, why would we do truck? I'm sure there's a route we can use here that takes in a train line. Where does that one come out? That comes out there. Okay, what are you transporting? Are you picking up or are you dropping off? You're just dropping off. Right, okay, well this is an opportunity to double up on things. So if we were to transport lumber by truck from here to the station there, we can then return that on the line that already exists, doubling the profit on that line. I like it. And then we need to get to the machine tool factory effort fandango that's up there. And that would mean taking the line out that heads towards Sioux Falls and then branching off. Or, again, we run trucks up there. I think another train, don't you? Yeah, especially since you've got this goods manufacturing, literal goods manufacturing area here as well. Is that then everything? I think it might well be, you know, it's because then what we can do is we run our 1-2 trains up the route from the hub here. We'll branch over and join a passenger line at some point. Won't the passengers be thrilled? And then head to Vancouver. So where the question is where do I go make that connection? Because heading out through that station would be absolutely ideal, but I suspect I've put, in fact, I suspect nothing. I have put a terminal on there. We could head this way and then on a second track and then go underground before popping back up over here with a cheery hello. That's not cheap, but it is cheery. Or a flying junction over the top. That's exciting. Go straight over the top of the passenger station. Won't the passengers be thrilled? Before continuing and hitting the main line. Now, the main line's advantage is that it's got signals absolutely galore, but we could then head up to Vancouver, branch off to hit the bridge here, and head in somewhere great. So we'd want to head in either around here. So we either take the lumber out to there and then come back with planks, which will be a nice return. In fact, that's the way to go. Okay, right, we're going to try that. How much loan have I got available? Yeah, just shy of 19 million. All right, I better not hang around because this is going to take some doing. So what do we do first? First up, let's get the trucks. No, let's get the track built. I don't want to put trucks or rolling stock or anything like that in play until we've got everything else in position. So the track is going to be the expensive bit, and therefore I should do that first. Now then, let's have a quick look at the sector map here, and the good news is that both industrial and commercial are over this side of the city. So I could easily stick in a station here. Give me one of those. We'll go one track, we'll go 400 metres, it's going to need it. No catenary, second street connection, yes please, thank you very much. And then change your mind and make it a terminal. Okay, let's do that. Still, yeah, all of this, all of that, and whack it in, probably around there would be pretty solid catchment. Now that's going to cost me $1 million in bulldozage. That's slightly less in bulldozage, but we don't get a massive amount of industrial catchment there. That neither. We could maybe run a truck stop out of there as well to make that work. Now, if we make this bendy, maybe, in fact, the second street connection is completely unnecessary in this case. Maybe a little less bendy. Close. Then it's just about getting the angle right. So we could end up right about there, and I can make that work. There we are, 84 grand. That's pretty cheap for a station, so we'll go with that. Now I'm using the second side of the track here. No. I know you're very excited about the prospect of electrification, but we're not there yet. But using the second side of the bridge is a lot of fun. Now, I honestly don't need to double track this, and I think I'll probably do a bit of repurposing later on to add more passenger lines going up this way as well, because it's highly unlikely we're going to be running that much freight that we need both sides of the bridge. But having something that is separate from the passenger line is no bad thing. Right, let's get rid of these signals, and then let's first off let's continue you this way. Continue this way, will you? That would be jolly decent. Right, and then do this as well. Bit of a wiggler, but that's okay because it's goods and they don't go stupendously fast. And then we'll run it down here. Now, we're going to get in the way of some passenger services, but as I mentioned in the last episode, pretty soon we're going to be looking at that's an outrageously ugly piece of track design there. Let's try and make it less ugly, shall we? Let's get rid of it to there. I wasn't paying anywhere near enough attention to that. We came perilously close to losing the bridge. I like to think I'd have noticed. Apparently that construction isn't possible. It is now. There you go. Right, let's pause before we upset the main line. Right, there we go. Yep, look, it's fixed. You can stop flashing at me. I've repaired everything. Right, you go along here like this. Don't do any clever snapping. Just get it done. Is that a little bit better? That is quite a lot better. Right, and then we'll parallel that along here to there. Because if you're going to do it right, try and make it pretty. Or at least not horrendously ugly with unnecessary bendation all over the place. Good. Right, now then, let's put some signals on here. We'll stick one there and another one here. And then we've got enough space to queue before the bridge, which will do. Queue before the bridge. You have not got enough space to queue before the bridge, so you can do your queuing back here. Right, okay, so that gets us from Vancouver over the bridge, and we're onto the main line. Choo-choo. You look like you might have turned around. No, you're not. You're all good. Okay, cool. So we're now motoring down here. Now, heading through the centre of Detroit is okay, because we've got this passing through line there, but this is a very busy section of track. So we're going to want to peel off and head down along the stone line there. And the best peel off point is probably... well, hold on. Let's do this side first. And then we'll figure it out from there. Now, I think I double-tracked some of this. Here we go. Now, we're definitely going to need to double-track here if I'm running multiple trains, because we'd quite like them to not interfere with one another unless it was absolutely necessary. So, right, let's get you whizzed down onto this one like that. Right, let's pummel you up the way. That didn't say 45, did it? No, surely not. Right, and we'll do that on there. Now, I could possibly run both trains on individual tracks here, but I already have a two-way system operating down there, so this is going to need a proper junction going on. Is that all we need? No, it really isn't. This is you're going to need to diamond this one. There we are. Okay, right, and then we're off to the races. So I need something that's going to make this work. Right, okay, so let's have a think about this. Now we've got a little bit of lift here already. We've got 5 million quid in the bank. Let's keep this rolling so that I continue having money coming in. And then if I take you uphill, stop it. You just stop trying to snap to everything. I know you're just trying to be helpful, but I don't need it. No, look, just... He has depressed the shift key. Fix the slope up. Alright, let's do that. And then, let's see at what point that turns into a bit of bridge. Right, okay, so there's our elevated section. We're going to need a relatively reasonable amount of elevation, so I think I might take it up to that height level. And then it's just a case of an appropriate bit of bridge design. And hopefully by doing... I'm going to try and do this one in segments to get an optimum result. I used big green last time. You're going to want some pillars under there. Trust me, these trains might get a bit heavy. There you go. Let's go with the box girder. That always looks good flying over town, doesn't it? And also it means that your valuables don't fly off it. Okay, right, now then, so if we go from here and we keep it on the flat, I know it looks like a roller coaster at the moment, but we're going over a few things. There we go. Well, apparently 2.1 million gets me up that high, which is rather high. Right, that can't possibly be right. You're still doing some incline there, aren't you? Yes. I don't need you that high. That's quite a lot higher than is actually required, and it's doing a flipping it's doing an archy bow there, which is not what I need at all. Okay, right, cancel that. Let's do the same from the other end, and then we'll try and join the two pieces and see if we can't smooth that out just a little. Right, so if we start back here, get me on a nicely inclining piece of slope. That's it. Yeah, that's sure. It's probably fine. All of this road, just so you know, road. You know, if you look like you're in the way at any point, yeah, then you're done. Yeah, you're forfeit. Box girder is what we went for. There we are. Now then, I think that's a little higher than the other end. Alright, so how's our targeting here? Just if we swing this just a smidge over that way, we should... What are you snapping to this time? Actually, I don't really mind. Okay, right, so we haven't invested a massive amount so far. Here's the point at which it could all go horribly wrong. And connection. So that's 1 million in total, and that's... It's really high. That's what that is. Really, really high. Way higher than I need. I mean, it works, and that's a good thing, but it is far higher than I actually require. So if we now put this one, I'm going to take this one a little bit further, and we'll keep it on the flat. Right? How's that look? Still quite high, but this should avoid it having to be ridiculously high. Okay, right, there we go, that's one. So I guess we're going to just do this a stage at a time then, huh? There we are. Now then, how's that look? Better. In fact, much better. Yeah, okay, right. I think we're on to our winner here, and it's not costing me the earth either, which is even better. We'll do that, and then link them up, and we should be pretty as can be. Rather like myself. Okay. It's a tall bridge, okay? I, you know, there is that, but it does go over the station. I mean, how tall are we looking at here? Pretty tall. But I think it's going to be worth it. I think it's got the elegance to sell it, and I would very much like that to be completely snug to the lowest possible altitude it can be. To be honest, I'm pretty lucky that I've actually got the space to do this in the first place. Let's not spend that. Cancel that. It means destroying this this £1,000,000 bit that you've just done. Yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to have another crack at it. All right, let me have another swing. I think I made my takeoff points too high. All right, so let's make them not quite as high. And see if we do any better. Right, here we go. Let's do it again. Right, get over to this side. Right, like that, and then take her up. There we go. Now then, that is lower, isn't it? It looks lower. Certainly looks lower. Let's continue this on without spending any more money and see where we get to. I'd like to get to there, please. You know what? That looks pretty good. All right, that's definitely lower, and declining in height. Okay, right. Okay, we've got a winner. Right, I want you just over here, like that. Hold on. What's happened here? You are now taller. A moment ago, you were not taller. Is that because it was trying to snap to the road? Okay, well, snapping to the road bridge is an adventure in and of itself, but it's not exactly what I'm after. What I wanted is for it just to not be quite so ruddy high in the first place. I tell you, pal, you are so lucky living here. So lucky. You're gonna have noises that you wouldn't fathom. Right, still too high. Let's cancel that. It was quite high, but it was also not horrendously expensive either. Right, you, this. And you think you want to go downhill. I don't want to go downhill, though. I'd quite like you to just stay at a neutral and flat height. Although you're not quite high enough to have turned into a bridgeroo, which apparently is a thing that I've just created. Get as far as there. Bridgeroo. Right, okay, so we've got that, which is probably about as high as I want to go. Okay, now then. Easy. Well, I hope you're finding this riveting, you know, because I'm having a great time. This is a whole lot of fun. Now, how tall have I made it there? I don't think there's much difference between this one and the last one I did. I think I'm likely to be building exactly the same thing again. But that's never stopped me in the past. Will you remember my bridge selection, please? No, no. Now it's definitely gone higher. Oh, I'm on the verge of just going, stuff it, we'll take it. I've got a train to run. Or shall I show just a little bit more patience than that? I know it's not one of my regular traits. Go on, pull it down as far as you can. Bad. Okay, yeah. I know the silence while the thinking happens really puts you on the edge of your seat. It's too big. This is too tall a bridge. Or is it? Because what I don't want to do is I don't want to just go, it's fine, and then leave it at that. Right, okay, let's try a piece of left field thinking here. If we start from there and head over to here, stop it. I don't need you bending in a circle. Don't need it. Don't need you to do that. Also, I'd like to point out that you are in jeopardy of crashing the entire ruddy game, which will make me uncheerful. Right, let's try that again. Stop snapping to things. Right, do this. Right, put a bow in the middle. Because what I'm thinking is if I take the ends off this, but manage to get an arch going over the bridge, then that, over the station, then that will give me the height to play with. However, it's not going to play that game. It's just not interested. Other alternatives are just get on with it. Just get it done. Just get it done, and then we'll move on to something else, and we'll declare victory. All right, bulldoze this. Right, move it forward. Actually, back it up a little bit. Now move it forward. All right, keep it on the flat. Right, if we can maintain a height similar to the maximum height of the road bridge, that would be absolutely peachy. It's going to be a little bit taller. This is the bridge that I have already built. What if we actually snap it here? See, if we snap it to maybe the topmost point of the arch on the road bridge. What if we build alongside the road bridge? No. Incidentally, everything I'm doing right now is very likely to crash the game. The fact that I haven't so far is more of a mystery to me than it is to anyone. Right, that's now snapped alongside the bridge. Hello there. That's cheeky. Right, now then. If we can do that, can I now change the material to the one that I want? Yes. Okay, that's got a good height. The weakness that it has is that it's coming in at something of an angle. Is it an angle I disapprove of? It is maybe because it's doing a slight arch there, but actually I'm cool with that. I think we can work with this. Let's do that. It's $250,000. We might have to delete it, and we won't get the money back. But then let's see where we can get to. Right, if you can connect onto there. And again, it's trying to increase height as it goes, which is not what I'm really after, because it doesn't need to do that. You know, we've cleared the tough bit by that point. All right, let's just continue following the arch of the bridge then. I do think that chap's house is likely to bite the dust. There we go. This is almost a road rail bridge combo here, you know. If you would be so kind as to remember my material selection, thank you. Now, if I can we take it back just a little? Yes, we can. Right, if we take it back to there, and then this bit of track's in the wrong place, so it's never going to connect to that without putting a massive wiggle in. I think this dude's house is toast. Right, there we go. So if we do that, and a bit more, and a bit more. No, this is all kinds of wrong, isn't it? Although we had it there, but only if I want to pull a really aggressive corner. I don't really want to pull a really aggressive corner, if I'm honest. What I'd quite like to do is just do sufficient to then continue along my way with no one really upset about anything at all. Do that. Yeah, you see, now this is where we come unstuck. All right, let's just do what it said, what we were trying in the first place, and see how we get on. We get on badly. That's how we get on. Oh well, one could very well become frustrated. Now, obviously, if this was just me, right? If you weren't here and I was just pottering around with this thing here, I'd be, you know, I'd be quite happy doing this for an hour or so, yelling at it to comply. Oh, what? It won't go anywhere now. Hold on, right? Okay, we've got a little. If we do a little bit of angle, we have some flexibility. 75, I'd like, please. How does that look? Why are you now going up in the air? Don't go up in the air. I'd like you to stay as a bridge, right? I don't need you to embankmentize. Stay as a bridge. See, I don't need you to go up. I tell you, this should be so much easier. You know, the thing that's missing, the function that is missing here. Hold on, what if we give it a bit of? That's raising the wrong pillar. The thing that's missing is the ability to start a bridge in the air. Because if you could do that, so you set height A, you set height B, and then you just join the dots. Alright, now then, that's rather an aggressive corner. How far can I pull it back without upsetting everybody? Right there is how far I can pull it back without upsetting everybody. I'm desperately unhappy about that. Well, that sounds a bit melodramatic, maybe. Kill it? No. Right, kill the next bit. We're going further back and see if we can fix it. We probably can't. That's too far back. That's further back than I'd like. Now, if the thumbnail for this, for this episode, if the title for this episode is "I will now spend an hour building one bridge," I apologise in advance because I'll have meant it. If, however, it says something like "dramatic new goods route" or ludicrously ambitious new goods route, then you'll know that we were onto something. Hold on. That was perfect. Why wouldn't you place it? Come on. Don't you be green on me. Just do that. Okay, now, how bendy have I made you there? A little bendy, but tolerable. Let's keep the arch in there, because it seems to make it a little more fluid. All right, okay, we've got progress. Now then, here we go. Last step. Good. Yes, everything you're doing here is right. If we start bringing it down, That's not so bad either. Are you moving more or less in a straight line? Yes, you are. Take that one as well. Get over the flipping road and we win. Oh, so close. Nope. Okay, right. Alright. In which case it was just me being ambitious and taking that last bit down. Let's go from here. We can do this. I've now got 13 million quid in the bank. We can afford the rest of the line now. Don't snap to the road. There it is. That's the one. That's it. That's rolling now. How far this way can I go without upsetting people? A reasonable distance. And we've managed to get over Matey Boy's house. I love it. Place. Success. Right. Okay. We're not going to look at it. Of course we're going to look at it. Give it some of that. Do a bit of this. And like I was never here. Okay. Right. Now then. Let's have a look and see what we want. If we let's turn the station markers off for a sec here, and then we can see. Okay, so it's more or less okay. You've got a bit of a dip going on there, but it could be worse, and it's not outrageously tall from above. Maybe the merest of kinks. But that is purely so that I could get it to match height with the bridge. If I thought it would work, and I don't, what I'd now do would be delete from about there to there, and then connect those two, ideally on the flat. But I'm at a loss as to how to do that. Somebody told me that it was possible, but I think they're lying. Not deliberately, I just think they're wrong. I have never, I've poked an awful lot of buttons in this game, and I have yet to come across the one that says, like, here you go, Chief, just a very straightforward point-to-point connection on the flat, no mess, no fuss. Not seen it. No, I've seen an awful lot of other buttons, and I've pressed quite a few of them, but not that one. Right, let's pull this along here. No, let's not. Let's make the junction first, and then we'll get it done. Turn my indicators back on, por favor, and then we've got as much intel as we could possibly need. Right, whack this off over here, like that. Yes, no, yes, sure. Why not? There's a bit of a slowdown there, but it's a junction. I mean, what do you expect? Send that around that way. We'll merge those onto one line. Who's got the better angle? I think inside here has got the better angle. And connectoroo. How does that look? Elegant is how it looks. And then merge this back on, and that's a connection made. In fact, more than that, I think that actually just bought us the hub. In terms of a connection there. Right, kill you. Give me better signaling, please. 1 and yes, 2. Those are the numbers, and the numbers are those. Right, okay, and then we're going to want... We can't signal here. There isn't enough runway space for a freight train there. In fact, there's not enough runway space for a freight train here either. I ought to make this piece of double track enough so that the trains can get past each other. Remember, we are likely to be running 2 trains up here. So making sure there is space enough to make that happen is wise. There you go. And given it's only cost me an extra 27k, acceptable. I'm going to do it a little bit further, look. I'm going to go a bit further still. You know why? Because there is nothing to be lost in doing so, other than, a little bit of Mother Earth's precious landscape. But she'll understand. She likes trains. There we go. Right, okay, so that's that hooked up. Plenty of queuing space for an incoming line there. I've removed a bit of road that doesn't appear to have upset the game, so I'm pretty comfortable with that. Okay, so let's us review together, shall we? So here's my Vancouver Goods Station. We run from there over the bridge, merge onto the passenger line, and then brake back off again before heading over the bridge here. Then hooking up alongside the stone route that we have in place already, or rather, that's the main Detroit delivery route. Let's wiggle that, and then we'll link this up to the line that we're running there. And because we've got a junction in place already, that will allow us, if I put one signal there and then another signal here, that's going to provide optimum queuing. Given that both of these two lines will be backing services, that should leave me a reasonable amount of queuing coming from this direction. Now, coming the other way, we're going to want a signal there. And then, where's my next one? Next one's up. What kind of ridiculous signalling is this? It's bad, is what it is. Right, get rid of that. And then put that in place instead. Now, I've put these signals in late for the crossing track because the crossing track is a passenger line, and I want to give that priority. In theory. So it means that there is a greater chance that the train has already moved up the line past the signal. So if it's neck and neck between the passenger service and the goods service's signal is later. It's a theory, and maybe it holds water and maybe it doesn't. But it isn't a theory particularly to do with water or anything related. That's just a thing people say. Right, okay, good. Now then, you're now running down here, whereupon we merge into the main goods queuing effort, which will take us in to one of two platforms of our choice. I'd like a third choice, if I may, please. That would be super duper. Actually, I don't need to, because this hub is not going to last long. I'm going to replace it with an even bigger and more ridiculous hub soon. So for those of you who really enjoy watching me faff around with the same bit of track repeatedly, you are in luck. Right, okay, so with all that done, I've spent the expensive stuff there. Now we just need to hook up all of the ancillary bits and pieces. So let's get truck station. Small will do. And then get it on here as close as we can get, to, or rather as far as we can get from the entrance. That'll do. And then what we want is we want to peel over here and get onto the. I don't really want to get onto the main street if I can avoid it. But there is no avoiding it, so we're going to. We either hook up onto there and get held up at the station, or we go over the top here and hook on this this suburban effort. Oh, well, choices. Right, give me. I want large country roads because I want you guys to be able to haul it when the time comes. In fact, I'm not even going to ask you to do that. Instead, we're going to do this. Right, do that. Remember to connect up properly. There we are. Right, we're away. And then we'll connect up properly. Right. Now, as we move from the dirt roads of yesteryear into the future-looking tarmacadon, I shall replace quite a lot of these roads and lay them out a little bit more marvellously. 1.25 million. Arguably, that's more tunnel than I really need. Let's try it going this way. I would have loved you to do a straight line there, you know. Yeah, that's it. That's what I'm thinking. Right, and then can we pop a tunnel? We can pop a tunnel. It's really quite a steep tunnel, and it's not cheap neither. If we take it further away, can I do it a little less steep? Yes, but it's going to cost you even more. All right, steep tunnel it is then, because once in a while you don't want a bridge. There we are. Okay, I mean that's almost like descending into the pit of hell. That particular tunnel there, it really is very aggressive. But that has set me up with the ability to get this line running. So where are we? Is this Indianapolis? Indianapolis is the name that people call it when the town names are displaying. Anyone? Anyone at all? I'm pretty sure it is Indianapolis. I've evidently not turned something on. There we go. Try that. Oh, it's there, look. Okay, just looking in the wrong place. These things happen. Right, okay, so this is going to be indie lumber delivery. Unlikely to be a profit-making route. Might be if the volume is up high enough, but I'm okay with this one not making money. Right, trucks. Oh, well, hold on. How about we finish the route off first there? So we'll go from Indianapolis South up to the bakery there. And with a bit of luck, that's all going to work just fantastically. Right, buy some road vehicles, freight, and it's going to be the Mac, isn't it? Now, I like the Benz, but it's going to be the Mac. The Mac's not quite as fast as the Benz, but it's going to be the Mac. Right, we will go with 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Set you, indie, lumber, and so forth. Right, that's now moving. Good. Now, as soon as this kicks into gear and we actually start making a delivery there, the train will start pulling that back and making money. Hooray for the train. And then from that point, we need to get that. Oh my goodness. I should have said, this is the first in a two-parter. Brace yourselves, this might end up being a two-parter. I am not yet done. Because we now need to get out to the tool manufacturorium. How am I going to do that? We either truck it in. We've got a great truck route here that would work fine. It's a lot of trucks. Or we run a little shunty train kind of deal. Shunty train. That's a thing. We run a little shunty train out here doing this route, the one that I've been doing for the last minute, just idly. What do you think? Shunty train? I'd be happier doing it if I'd got this station double-tracked. How much objection are you going to have there? We've got a collision and we've got 2 buildings to be removed. And the game has voiced its concern. Oh, okay. I thought the game there had, for a moment, gone, no, that's it. That's your lot. You're over. Get out. You and your madcap notions. We could get rid of those manually, but I don't know what it was colliding with. Let's get rid of these manually and find out what it was colliding with. Come back here. Upgrade. I just want to add another platform. What are you colliding? Is it going to be this bridge? It is going to be this bridge. I could relay the bridge. Alright, give me some pause. Right. This is me committing to using a little shuttle type shunting service. Right. Okay. Let's go again. That's going to be a medium town road there. A street, I think they call them. I know, how quaint. So we do a bit of that, and we get over the top. Get over the top. Get over the top. 3. Don't like using 3, but 3 is a magic number. How about that? That's quite nice. Bit of wooden decking. Quite a lot of stone. Really aggressive ramp back down the other side. Let's do that. Okay, yeah. I mean, that's gargantuan, but it has facilitated me... Oh, hold everything. Should have done this after upgrading the station. Yeah, all right. Yeah, okay, thank you. Hey, tell you what, let's delete this again. Thank you, yeah. Oh, yeah, on this one you have to click the lamppost in order to get it to delete. I remember that. I know. Thousands wouldn't, but I did. Probably because I've bulldozed everything in the past. Right, now then, give me 2 platforms. Apply that. See how it's no longer objecting to my my presence. And then we'll bundle over the top here. Is this the smart thing to do? Well, if it was the smart thing to do, smart people wouldn't do it. Oh, hello. We've made that look better. Hooray for us. Give me a... Yeah, give me that. That's great. Are we sure that's tall enough? Well, the game seems to believe it is, so let's take it. All right. Good. Sold. Thank you. Yes, what was I saying? Yes, I did. I've actually possibly been a little foolish in opting to go with a train for this, because this train is going to have a very tough time making any kind of money at all, because of the infrequency with which it will be receiving supplies initially. However, we do double up the likely profit on the existing Sioux Falls route, and that in itself is a good enough reason to do it. Okay, there we are. That's me putting a hard sell on myself there. There you go. Yeah, you've got it. Yeah. Your Sioux Falls route will make more money. Gonna go. Oh yeah, I suppose it will, really, won't it? And that's why you should do it. That's the inner monologue voice there. Right, okay, out as far as here. No. Give me just a regular old bidder station here. One track, 240 metres at the most. Keep it straight. Turn it around. There's the target. Align with target. Right. Now, I think the problem that this is going to have is it's not going to be receiving enough supplies. But later on, I mean, obviously we've got other materials we can use to make tools and machine goods with. That's a nice angle, isn't it? Isn't that pretty? There's going to be an influx of more. What have I just deployed there? Why have I now got two small... Don't even think about it. Yeah, so there is going to be more stuff coming in to that station. So as that happens, we will naturally, one would hope, increase frequency and volume of materials that are moving out that way. So I think it will work in the long run. In the short run, however, going to cost me a couple of quid. Right, now then, we're going to need some points up like this somehow. I've maybe done that a little too tight to the corner. In fact, let's do it this way. There we go. Get over onto there. And this is purely the maintenance line, I suppose you could call it, to get the train to and from the depot. Given that there isn't a junction between the two platforms there, and finding one or making one would be tricky. That's a really hideous piece of track. Do it better. Okay, right, fine, doing it better. In fact, if you bulldoze that back, I mean, you're only going to need this track once or twice, but even so, you know, make a decent fist of it and make something that isn't going to cause people's eyes to water when they look at it. Going, oh no, oh how could you? Can we get away with no signals on there? Sure. Right, okay, so next route up is going to be this one. Now, normally I would do the lead routes first, so we start at the back end of the chain and work our way forward. But in this case, there we go, there's that. I'm just going to do them as I see them. So this is going to be, I can't remember what my Sioux Falls abbreviation was. Had an X in there, SXFL. That's the kind of thing I'd do. Or SXFS. No, FL feels more appropriate. And that's going to be... tools, processing. Okay, right, good. So I need to put a train on that one. So I should keep that there earmarked. Next up is the big one, the one that heads from Sioux Falls out to... Not from Sioux Falls, from the hub out to Vancouver. So it's a proper long way, this one, and that's why I'm going to need... That's not Vancouver. And that's why I'm going to need more than one train. Is to get the time down so that we actually get the demand building properly. Look at that. It is ridiculously far away. We may even need 3 trains on there. But remember, every train is going to be earning in both directions. So in theory, this could end up a nice little earner. Right. This is going to be Vanc, goods, bulk. Okay, that's going to need training as well. And then final piece of the puzzle is it the final piece of the puzzle, or are you just talking rubbish? Both are possible. There's lumber. We need to ship the lumber to Indianapolis. We did that already. That lumber then gets to the hub by reasons. It gets on the train to Vancouver, which will take it quite a lot of its natural life to complete. It hits Vancouver. It gets off the train. Right, it gets off the train and it goes over there. Okay, another truck route. Fine, good, we'll do that. I'm going to try and finish this today, right? What we'll do is, I make this commitment to you now, is that I will have everything placed and quite a lot of it purchased before I wrap it up. And then we will see whether any of that was any good at all in the next episode, okay? So that's our that's going to be our mission objective. Right, okay, there we go. So you turn this into plankton. And then there's a tunnel, look. Someone built that. I built that for a reason. Did I do that today? I don't think I did. I think that was there already. Let's smooth the edges down. There you go. That'll make people a little bit less nervous about it. And then you need... I think I might put a bypass in here, you know. Give me something speedy. Large country road. It's the only thing that gets you through those super chunky routes of chunky superness. Any chance we could just make this a straight line? I guess not. In fact, let's do it this way. Let's go like that. Arguably, I could move my truck stop here. And since I love an argument, we're going to move the truck stop. That's the wrong button there. But, you know, good effort nonetheless. There you go. If we put the truck stop here instead, we don't have to interfere with any other traffic because this is the only... this is kind of a single purpose route. Take it all the way to there. Too much slope. Not too much slope. Right. That's pretty direct. You've got a little bit of a wiggle at the end here, and I ought to upgrade that to keep the speed and a momentum, whatever I can make it. Collision. All right. How do you feel about medium? You feel good about medium. I feel good about medium. We all feel good about medium. Right, there we go. So, route this one up, please. All right, from Vancouver, what? West. Well, yes, that's a name, I suppose. To Upper Vancouver. Right, good. Now, this is going to be Vanc. Wow, now what? Lumber processing. All right, so not only have we brought some goods up to Vancouver that the locals might use, but we've also brought some lumber up. That gets on a truck, comes out here, gets sawn, goes back again, gets back on the train, and clears off down the south end of the map. And there's a great deal of rejoicing. That's the theory. Let's put it in a practice. Does this actually... It does connect up to the town itself. Right. I don't think I've got a vehicle depot here, so I'm going to build one on this bit of interstate. Right. There we go. Vehicle depot. How many should we stick on that? I think we go bold with this. Let's go 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That might have been more than 8, but either way, it's still bold. Vanc Lumber Processing. You are 5x5. Right, now, that should be everything. I'm excited. We just need to put trains in place. So the first of which, and we're going to need to update the Sioux Falls delivery train, possibly extending its length. But first things first, our little shunter here. Now we're going to absorb these costs for a bit. Do I have anything American that is shuntish? I mean, you know, the Great Westerns are, you know, they're winking at me again, going, come on, I'll do it. Oh, this is a J70 steam tram. I've got no fewer than 5 mods queued up today to talk about, and then that didn't happen. See if you can see your favourite. Oh, look, it's the K4S Pacific. We'll be running that in a minute. That's 5.5 million. This is... We won't be running that in a minute. It does do 90 though, doesn't it? No, we'll go with the Mikado because that's new and exciting, and we're thrilled to have it. Anyway, I've got to try and find... See, it says tram and it's a train. Oh, how you do those things. And you know what I'm going to run? I'm going to run something a little older because I want something cheap. There you go. Can't say fairer than that. How's this consolidation do? £1 million. Plenty of power and so tractive effort, but it doesn't need to haul that much. So yes, we'll take one of those. Freight cars, give me a Naffies, because that's how we roll. Although we could actually go with state cars on this, given that that's all it's going to be hauling. No, it's not. It's going to be hauling a mixed load. Naffies it is. Right, we will take... What do we think? Let's go 66. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That should do it. And then that's going on Sioux Falls tools processing. Which is nice. It's Sioux Falls tool processing. Off you go. Yep. Okay. Yeah. Yes. And then for our final trick today, we're going to buy the big lad. Now I've got 9.7 million in the bank. It's not going to be enough. Where are we? Mikado. Hello, Mickey. There we go. Right then, here we go. We're going to have one of them, and then there's precious little deciding to be done. We're going to Naffies it up. I want it to have a capacity of about 160 at a minimum. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, just look at the number. What? Oh, you're auto-saving. Well, that's decent of you. Also, you're out of money, friend. That's less decent of you, because I need a couple of these. How about 132? How does that grab you to start with? I want 3 of them, and I don't think I'm going to be able to afford that. Also, I think this is going to be hellishly expensive. Right, let's max out what we got. 19 million. If I buy another one... You just sold it. That's the opposite of buying another one. That's selling the one you had. Good news, though, we were on pause, so you didn't lose any money there. You just inconvenienced yourself and the viewers. Right, here we are. Do that. Buy a bunch of these. We got up to about 130 some odd. No, we had 19 million left in the bank, and I've spent a bit more than that. Now you hit the clone it button. We haven't got enough for a third. Phooey. Okay, well, we will do in a moment. But actually, I'll see what the turnaround time is on these two, and maybe that'll do it. Vank Goods Bulk. Off we go. Now, it has to be said at this stage, I am uncertain if this is going to work. I would be very pleased if it did. And with subsequent changes that I have in mind to the hub, it will work better than it works now. I mean, obviously, if it doesn't work at all now, working better, ooh, big deal. But I think it's got a shot at working now if my journey time isn't too horrendous. And assuming I've got sufficient goods in free supply. So there's just it's just a wait and see kind of a minute, isn't it? Right, what's the capacity on that? 143. Let us appreciate the maiden voyage of the Mikado. About as iconic as you get for this era. There we go. It's off, it's away, it's going on a very, very long journey. And so is the other one in a minute. I'm not going to buy the third. I'm going to hold off before buying a third one, because we'll see if this manages to kick anything into life. Chances are I've missed something, because this is, it's not the most complicated route ever, but neither is it the most straightforward. So if I've missed something, please let me know in the comments. Meanwhile, I've been Colonel Failure. Thank you very much for tuning in today. I'm having such a great time with this series, and I am looking forward to tearing down the Goods Hub and building Goods Hub 2 Electric Boogaloo. So subscribe to make sure you don't miss that when it happens, because it's just going to be silly. Meanwhile, throw a like at this one if you enjoyed it, and I'll catch up with you very soon. Thank you very much for watching. Cheerio!